is Chuck Solari from Mortadella Head, and today we are gonna make something beautiful. We're gonna make a nice, simple bruschetta. My mouth doesn't even feel right saying it like that because I'm so used to saying it the wrong way. Bruschetta. But I know if I say bruschetta, people are gonna say, you're saying it wrong. So we're making a beautiful bruschetta today. To make your bruschetta, you wanna start with some nice bread. Today we have a nice big loaf of crusty bread. You can use day-old bread because we're going to toast it. So if you use stale bread, that's fine. It's a good way to get rid of some stale bread. Some nice Roma tomatoes, some garlic, some fresh basil. We have some fresh mozzarella, and we have some olive oil. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to dice up some of our tomatoes. We're going to make a nice little tomato salad. Use good tomatoes, the best you can find. Right now it's really not tomato season here, so I'm using some Roma tomatoes. When tomatoes are out of season, Roma tomatoes are probably the best. I'm going to cut them in half like this. Go this way, and this way. And, oh, this knife is sharp. I like this knife. Cuts these tomatoes like butter. You know, tomatoes are like the toughest thing to cut when you don't have a sharp knife. The knife slips off the tomatoes. So it's a good, tomatoes are a good test to tell if a knife is good. Now we're going to take our tomatoes that we just diced up. We're going to throw them in a mixing bowl. Some nice kosher salt, a little bit of black pepper. I'm going to take some fresh basil now. I like a lot of basil in this. We really want the basil to stand out, get that freshness. So I'm going to roll those leaves up and just cut them into nice thin ribbons. I like to go pretty thin. Beautiful. Sprinkle those in there. Now we're just going to drizzle some nice olive oil in there. Good amount of olive oil. We're just going to give this a nice toss. Let everything marinate. The tomatoes and the basil, the olive oil, the salt is kind of going to pull out all the juices from the tomatoes. Looks beautiful. We're making this bruschetta today in a frying pan. The ovens upstairs are real busy. This is going to come out beautiful. You can do this at home. You can make it in your oven, make it in a frying pan like this. You're going to love it either way. I'm going to take a nice loaf of bread. I'm going to cut a couple of good slices out of this. A couple of good hearty slices. You have like a French bread and your slices are a little smaller. It's fine. Use whatever you have. I'm going to cut a couple of nice slices off of this. Look at all the holes in there. Now I'm going to just take a little bit of oil, a little olive oil, and I'm just going to lightly coat the bottom of this pan, not too much. And I'm going to let that heat up. I'm going to take our bread, I'm just going to put them down here, and I'm going to let them toast in the oil here. When you start to smell the bread toasting, you'll know it's time to flip it over. I can smell the bread toasting in the oil, and I think it's time to flip these suckers over. Yes, look at that. That's what you want to see. Beautiful. The other side, nice and toasted. Just let these sit there for another couple minutes. I'm going to get a clove of garlic, and I'm going to get this thing ready. Boom. Sometimes I like when I see the purple garlic like that. I don't know what it means, but it's like, oh, did I get a fancy head of garlic? I don't know. Our bread is ready, so we're going to take it out of the pan and put it right down on this tray. And I'm going to take the garlic clove that I just took out of the garlic head, and I'm going to take it and I'm just going to rub it all over this bread here. And you'll be surprised at like how much garlic flavor just by rubbing it over is gonna soak into the bread. You want to kind of get these crispy edges here because it's going to cut the garlic clove open. It's really going to get all the garlic, like all the oils from inside the garlic onto the bread. The reason it's better to like rub the garlic clove on the bread like this rather than chop it up and mix it in with the tomatoes, you're not going to get like the harsh, like sometimes when you bite into a piece of garlic, like a raw garlic clove, you get like a harsh, like ooh, like it like punches you in the face. This way here, you're just going to get like the essence of the garlic, which is nice. It'll be nice and subtle, but you're going to really know it's there. Now I'm just going to hit this with a little bit more oil. Just a little bit, not too much, just enough to like soak in and let my salt. I'm going to season it with some salt again. So I want the oil kind of like be a binder, let the salt kind of stick to the bread a little better than it would if it wasn't there. And now we're going to take this beautiful little marinated tomato salad that we made, and we're just going to put it right over the top. How simple is that? Simple and beautiful. Isn't that nice? Look at that. You can only smell this. Be in heaven. I'm going to take a nice ball of fresh mozzarella And you could slice it up if you want to, but what I like to do is I like to kind of pull it apart like this and tear it. Because when you tear it like this, you get these like nice strands of mozzarella, like these uneven strands. And it just looks more rustic, and when I drizzle a little bit more olive oil on top of here, all of those like strands of mozzarella cheese are gonna really soak up the olive oil. We're gonna do one more drizzle of olive oil over this, right? Not too much, just a little extra flavor. Then we're gonna hit it with a sprinkle of grated Romano cheese. You can use grated Parmesan if you have it. We have Romano right now, and I love Romano cheese, so we're using that. We're gonna hit this with a nice balsamic reduction. This adds a little zing at the end, and it's beautiful. Look at that. Last but not least, a couple more pieces of fresh basil to kind of dress it up and give it one last bit of that freshness. When you bring it up to your mouth, boom, you're gonna get hit in the face with the fresh basil. Looks too good to eat, doesn't it? Looks like it should be in a magazine or hanging on the wall. But we gotta try it. It's awesome. So simple to make, right? Like we should be making this every single day. The best thing about this is like how the garlic is there, but it's really not there because we just gave it like that little rub. And then you got the tomatoes, and it's real salty. The tomatoes created that beautiful little, I don't want to call it vinaigrette, but like there's something juicy here with the basil. And now you got the fresh mozzarella, a little extra basil here. I mean, the whole thing is beautiful. And if you were on a diet, I wouldn't recommend this, but you can just leave out the bread, do the tomatoes, throw in the cheese, mix it around, eat it with a fork, if you were trying to lose weight. Thanks for watching us make this beautiful bruschetta. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, like the video, share it. Thank you very much for watching. Make it nice.